timer because I didn't want to get into any disapproval stages. Okay. Presently, guests, fellow Rotary members, I thought I'd share with you an experience that I had over the weekend, and in some ways there's some similarities because we were on you were whacking balls as I understand it, and we were on a very long and rough cycle track, and the cycle track is called A to O, and it starts at the Alps and it goes down to Oamaru. It is. I thought when they first explained it to me that it would be pretty easy. We would be up high, it would all be downhill, there'd be a nor'wester, and it would be a bit of a breeze. Well, yeah, you're right. It didn't quite happen like that. It's a track that's funnily enough designed, I think, to pull in some small towns. So it starts at Mount Cook Station, which was very entertaining to be at. And funny enough, an old school friend is the manager's wife there. So a bit of reminiscing then. And then it cycles down Lake Pukaki and across, and then you hook into a diversion to Twizel so that they too can benefit from the economic gains. And then you do this sharp right-hand turn and go all the way back up to Lake Ohau. Funny enough, we had got the dividend from the nor'wester, so we then paid the price for the nor'wester. But they tell me it's double their patronage at the Lake Ohau, this track. And then it's no rail trail, because then they have, and I think the Ohau Lodge, they've sort of put a slanted gash up the hill, not quite to the ski field, but it feels like it, and it goes for about 10 kilometres. So, unfortunately at that stage, the nor'wester had changed and we had a southerly, which I think was the weather that you had here a day or so later. So we experienced another side after about 35 days of beautiful sun, and I'd been down in that area for a couple of weeks earlier, so I had t-shirts and shorts, and it wasn't quite the right gear. It was about 9 or even 8 degrees with quite a wind chill. But still, it was great fun. And what I should do probably is just give you a wee bit of background. We've got a little tramping group that's run for about 15 years, and it starts with an email that says, "A walk in the wild," and then you just filter your way through it to see what might be the next little exercise. We've done many of the tramping tracks and some cycling tracks. It was spread over 5 days, so we started on Tuesday, flew down on Tuesday, started on Wednesday, and ended yesterday, and you actually have to go and dip your feet in the water at Omarama. Each day is about 60 to 80k, so for someone who hadn't trained, it's not ideal, but as my boys said, you just make it up on the day, Dad, but I think it was pretty obvious that I was making it up on the day. In terms of our team, they're very eclectic. In some ways it's a bit like Rotary. We've got a policeman, someone who's been at the UN, and a journo, a newsreader who you'd recognise, a wine grower, a MacGyver character, a supermarket owner, a surgeon, and of course everyone has their nicknames. The policeman's called Clipboard. He's very good at things. I'm called Wardrobe, because typically while we're packing, my wife says, "Oh, it could be cold, you'll need this and you'll need that." And so I end up with double the amount of stuff. And then someone asks me, usually for tramping, "Graeme, can you lift that pack?" And the answer is normally no. So they just empty it out, and we go from there and I start. Just to finalise, since time is up, I can see, it's wonderful in the country. It is a great learning experience, Neville. You mentioned learning, and you learn a lot. We even learned a bit about technology. Stop. We learned about technology. All the pivots, it's a huge revolution, and they describe to us the productivity gains from all of the irrigation, or as they call it down there, irritation. 100 to 1 productivity gain from those pivots from the original no irrigated environment, not from sort of some earlier ones, which was just marvellous. So we learnt that. I learnt to challenge myself. I also learnt to be a little bit more prepared, Graeme. Thank you all. Cheers.